Hi from Mumbai. Today I'm going to talk about the topic which I've chosen, which is brand identity. Before I start talking about this topic, I'd like to start with a quote which I really believe in it, and it has a very good meaning related to the topic which I have chosen. It's before you even introduce your brand to the world and show people what it stands for, you need to figure out what that is. That is your brand identity. This is said by Jen Rubio. I think this quote itself introduced the topic and told exactly what we are going to talk about it. The brand which I have chosen to talk about it today is Louis Vuitton. And let's introduce and talk a little bit about Louis Vuitton, about the company. Louis Vuitton was founded in 1854 by Louis Vuitton and headquartered in Paris, France, which soon developed itself as a well-established name in the luxury goods segment. The company creates innovative, elegant, and practical modern products of high quality, and it is leader of luxury luggage as an exclusive line. So it means it's 100+ years old brand. And let's talk a little bit about the topic itself. What is a brand identity? Because when we are talking about identity, it's something which represents a person. So that is exactly the same thing. Identity which represents a brand. There are 5 points which I'd like to point here. Brand identity is the face of a brand. Brand identity is the visual component of a brand. The visible elements of a brand, such as colors, design, logotype, name, symbol, that together identify and distinguish the brand in the consumer's mind. The message sent out by a brand owner is translated by the audience or stakeholders through their own perceptual lens and biases in order to form an opinion or a brand image in their mind. It can be challenging for a brand if its identity is not clear, misinterpreted, or even missed by stakeholders, which is why going through the branding process is valuable. So, brand identity is the identity of a brand which we have to build. This may take maybe some time, but this is very important to build that identity which customers will relate to it. For example, when you're talking about like colors, logo type, font, why everything is chosen and works so carefully? Because when we are talking about the colors, the color which we are choosing is very important, which should relate with the brand identity and the product. Logo type is very important. Design, symbol, everything has a meaning. And the point which I would like to talk about here more is like it can be challenging for a brand if its identity is not clear. Of course, it's challenging for a brand if the identity is not clear, is because if you are making a product which reaches to everyone, then we have not built a brand identity. We should be clear for whom we are making a product and to whom our product is reaching. Then people will understand what brand identity is. Clear brand purpose and positioning. The first part of establishing a brand identity is determining what your purpose and positioning is. This is very important. Before we start building a brand, we need to understand where we are standing for whom, who is our customer, and for whom is our product. This is a very important point which before we need to figure it out. Then we have the brand purpose is the big reason for your existence. The brand positioning is the naming of who your product is for. I just mentioned it before. If we have a brand identity, we know who is our customer. If we do not have a brand identity, we don't know who is our customer and for whom is our product. Based on these points, we create a logo, decide on color palette, font, design, etc. This is a very important process because the logo itself should speak for our product, should speak for our brand identity, and the color as well. So everything together creates that identity of a brand, and customer looks at it, can relate to it. For example, I have chosen the Louis Vuitton logo, but I was just looking at it and I tried to figure it out. When I'm looking at the logo, what exactly do I see? If the Louis Vuitton brand itself is a human, how that will look like. So for me, when I was looking at this logo, I was just looking at it and I can see luxury, I can see quality, I can see handmade, I can see stylish, upper class, expensive. These are the first words which come in my mind when I look at this logo. So it means here the font, the color, and everything has been chosen very carefully. Here we have brand identity and image. Identity, how the brand owner define what the brand is. This is very important. I am the owner, I have to define what my brand is. And the image is how the consumer, my customer, perceive the brand, how they are looking at it. And the goal here is to achieve that as much overlap as possible. So it means whatever I am creating, whatever the brand identity of my brand company is, the customer should be able, by just looking at it, to identify and to get that message through my logos and whatever we just mentioned before. This is brand identity and image. Brand purpose, vision and mission statement, brand values, brand differentiation and positioning, brand personality, brand tone of voice. As I mentioned before, again, these are the 5 points which we have to look at it when we are building a brand and developing and creating the brand identity. Tone of voice is very important as well, because if, as I mentioned before, if a brand is a human, we should we should figure it out, and we should understand how that person is going to talk. So these are points which are very important. And before we develop a brand, we should question ourselves. What do we do? This is very important. What are we doing and why we are doing it? How do we do it? Who do we do it for? And what value are we bringing in? So these are very important questions in the brand identity building image. These are 5 layers of product level, which we are going to talk to in the next slide more about them, like core product, generic product, expected product, augment product, and potential product. In Louis Vuitton's case, if we are talking about the core product, what is always there? It's quality and luxurious, no matter what. These are points which are remaining and what we expect as a customer. In a generic product, we get quality, luxury, handmade, leather, style. This is what Louis Vuitton brand is all about. This is how the identity is built. Expected product, like handmade and quality, and brand identity, again, in DNA. If you are talking about augmented product, it's all about the technology. We can visualize, we can see the image there. It's about quality and style. So it means, again, quality and style remains in technology, but still with handmade and a luxurious part. Potential product. What is a potential product? Potential product is something which the brand identity has been building themselves, is something which will remain there forever as their core potential product, which you can see the small trunk, which now is designed and represented in a different way, because now it's after 100 years, which is fashionable and again quality. Creating a logo. How important is creating a logo for a brand? We just mentioned it above. Here are a few points. Design a logo that matches, complements, and enhances the brand. And logo is central to your brand identity design. It is the piece of your brand identity that people will be exposed to the most. This is a very important point. It needs to line up with all the other elements of your brand identity, as well as the broader emotional appeal of your brand. Now I'm going to talk about this here. This is Louis Vuitton's logo. We just mentioned above how these are the words which comes in my mind when I look at the logo. How important it is. I'm a customer. I don't know much. What does it mean in L and V maybe, but I'm just looking at it for the first time, and these are the words which comes to my mind, which relates to the brand identity, which is smart, luxury, richness, expensive, royal, elegance, exclusive, high quality. Now these are this is how the brand identity is built. Can you imagine Louis Vuitton in a pink and white color with this kind of font? Will this represent what the brand identity is? Not at all. I cannot imagine. So it means that we have to be very careful when we are choosing the logo, color, the font, and everything. That should match us, and that is what brand identity is. 6 effective tools for building brand identity. It's about physique, personality, culture, relationship, reflection, and self-image. These are things which we have to work carefully for building the brand identity. And we have it here. This is what Louis Vuitton stands for. Physique, it's about unique design, social status, independence, about the personality. It's very ambitious, elegant, style, dominant, classy, self-image, prestigious, fashionable, high quality, luxurious, exclusive, reflection, modern, upper class, sophisticated, expensive, relationship, trust. This is very important because the customer will always trust in a luxurious brand like Louis Vuitton. Trustworthy, exclusive, loyalty, and respectful. Culture, sophistication, liberation, savoir-faire, and upper class. These are what represent and reflect as a brand Louis Vuitton. Let's move to the next. Product evolution. To enhance the uniqueness by standing true to their DNA and play with their codes to remain relevant to evolving consumer culture. Consistency and attention to details are key elements of luxury marketing. Now this is a very important point because through years this is a more 100 plus years old brand, and not necessarily that the product which has been made before that the customer is the same. Customer keep changing, time keep changing, and we have to be relevant to the time and to the customer also. But keeping in mind that brand identity, it means if we are looking at the images which I have chosen here, if we are looking at how the logo has been used as the print, how the logo color has been changed and used in very young different way, but still keeping in mind that handmade, luxurious, elegance, and all those points has not been changed. So it means that is what brand identity is, keeping everything through the years but not changing the brand identity. Like product evolution, look at this. This is the old photo of a trunk of Louis Vuitton and how that have been changed through the years of 21st century after 100 years old, and how that has been used in a different way. So idea is there. And here we see product evolution again, and this is how and what Louis Vuitton stands for. On the right there is an old photo of Louis Vuitton bag. I think that this is 100 years old photo, and look at the product on the left side. There is no much different of the bag which we can see here, and still this is a core product which remains, and that is what brand identity is. And I'm gonna close this presentation with one of my quotes which I really believe what is a brand identity for me. When the product value, purpose, and customer demand remain the same over so many years, that is what brand identity is. Thank you so much.